everybody. Welcome to the Wrestling Through the Years podcast. I am the armchair QB Dizzle. I'm here with the sexiest mind in the history of wrestling fans, Dutchie.
Hi.
And I'm here with the man that puts the E in Elmo as the worst character on Sesame Street, Eric.
What's up?
I mean, he really is.
There's so many better ones. And then we got C-Money in the building.
Yo.
And we're all here to talk some old shit today. We're going back to 1988. We're getting in our time machine.
Yeah. You know what really grinds my gears?
Oh, Jesus, what?
Is the fact that Eric's internet and Eric's webcam and all that work fine on this show. But on the fucking cartoon show the last couple of weeks, he keeps freezing.
Yeah.
But it works fine here.
Well, because you don't like
what the fuck?
Yeah. It's an attack on
I don't know. I get the same thing every day, every week.
This computer
I wonder that myself.
This computer's a wrestling fan.
All right, that's it. We got to switch the cartoon show to a porn show. Maybe it'll work.
Wow.
Ours might explode. Too much of an overload. But we're here to go to 1988. Clash of Champions 4, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Seasons Beatings. A Christmas theme. And in the main event, we have Barry Windham and Ric Flair, what was left of the Four Horsemen, going against the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette by their side.
Yeah, the newly babyface turned Midnight Express, by the way.
So there's a lot of fun things on this card. We got Dusty and Road Warrior Hawk, and it's going to be a lot of fun stuff to get into. Real quick, and we haven't talked current in a while, I want to give AEW their credit, dude. AEW put on one of the better wrestling shows I've seen in a long time. But, a really good wrestling show. And I liked it a lot. Blood and Guts. I think people complaining about the blood should know that they're watching a show called Blood and Guts.
Yeah. Blood and Guts. Exactly.
It's in the fucking name. You were warned.
Wait. Who would complain about Blood and Guts? It's just blood.
Here's the main, it's not even that it's too bloody. The main complaint that I've heard from like old school wrestling fans and even just contemporary, like just wrestling fans, is they don't like them leaving the cage that much, which I guess I can understand it because like the idea of a cage match is you lock the cage or you lock the war games and then you go to war and you can't get out. And that's the whole thing. But if you're just an old school wrestling fan that likes the territories and shit and stuff like that and to have that opinion, okay. But if you're a WWE fan, you're being kind of a fucking hypocrite because any elimination chamber match, somebody's sneaking in that they're feuding with and it's going to fuck somebody up. Mm-hmm. Any Hell in a Cell match, somebody's going to fucking get out of there and get onto the roof. Any match in WWE where the cage is supposed to be locked and they're forced to fucking fight inside. It always goes the same way. Someone gets out or someone comes in. A cage has never blocked anybody out of a fucking match.
What is the thing that people remember the most about Mick Foley and The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell?
Him getting dropped on his head.
Thrown off. Yeah. And thrown in. That's the second most. It's the second spot.
Yeah. And by the way, they were outside when that happened. They were not in the cage.
Exactly.
And people rant and rave about that. And it was the greatest thing they had ever seen. It was innovative. Mick Foley is nuts. You know, he's fantastic. The Undertaker's dangerous. Blah, de, blah. So
Armageddon. Same thing. They went.
Yeah, when he went outside for most of the match. In the back of the truck.
Well, what Armageddon, Hell in a Cell, you gotta realize Vince did pull the door down himself with a car or that truck itself. So the door's locked. Vince was the one that had the door again, try to rip the cage apart. So he allowed that to happen.
We're only 5 minutes in and Cleneth's already trying to apply logic.
Well, I'm just saying you have to be logical about this. You can't use that example and make it seem like
You're right.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that like that's what people most remember about the match, and it's one of the more talked about things. And they talk about how awesome it was.
Or they do get out of the cage, but I mean, Cleneth's right that they do start out on the cage technically. But I will say, but it happens all that we've all seen an elimination chamber match. How the hell did Logan Paul get in there that one time to fuck somebody over? Or how the hell did AJ Styles to get into fight? Like, there's always somebody that finds their way in the locked cage or finds their way out. A Hell in a Cell, War Games, those structures aren't, yes, they're designed to keep people out, but it's wrestling and they always find a way in or out if they want to. And I think that the ladies did the match. By the way, ladies' match was better than the men's match.
Yes.
And I do think that because they realized that this is our shot. We've seen the women War Games from WWE. It's kind of some pussy shit. No offense, and I don't like to call anybody because they're professionals and they've put their bodies on the fucking line. But compared to this, it's kind of like they're playing it safe because that's the WWE style. It's safe. Yeah. Don't hurt yourself so you can keep making money, which is a good style. But these guys are like, fuck it, let's fucking get some ratings and let's put our fucking nuts to the crossbow, even though the chicks don't have nuts. But Sky Blue was covered in blood, and she looked so bad. And that was her moment. People are talking about her more than they've ever talked about her in the wrestling industry. And that snapshot of her fucking with her face covered and that little sadistic smile on her face is going everywhere. And then in that spot, a hater tried to put her through a table twice, and the tables in these matches were not budging. But
I know, right?
I liked the way because I liked them going outside of the cage for a couple reasons. One, I liked MoneyE coming in and out to get her belts and distributing it to the girls, because that is smart strategy. That's, hey, I got all this gold. We got all these weapons on deck. Let's kick some ass. That's good strategy. And I love the idea of let's throw all the baby faces out of the fucking cage, lock the cage just with a couple, and then do our move, which, hurt Tony's girl, Tony and Mina, they're really good friends, but if you're watching AEW TV, you might think they're in a romance or something. I've seen these ladies kiss. Everybody kisses there, but I've seen them kiss, and they're very close. So you're beating up the love of Toni Storm's life, and you're holding her down. And I thought the psychology of that was perfect. The only thing that did not work about it was that the suplex off the top rope, and Doug pointed this out to me when we were watching it, and I was like, yeah, you're right. And the suplex that Willow hit on Megan Bain. Megan was able, because after the suplex, that's when Mina did the figure four, and then Marina came in with the stomp, and then Megan started hitting her. So Megan was able to recover. Willow hit the suplex and was down for the rest of the match while her team got fucked up. So that's the one psychology thing that's a little like, you're the one that hit the move and you can't get up, but the girl that you hit it on got up and is whipping the other girl with the fucking belt. Which is basically what wins the match. That is a little like, I would have had Willow get up one more time and then them drop her. Unless that happened off camera and I didn't see it. But it didn't seem like that. It seemed like she just stayed laying from the suplex. And she was the one that hit the move. So that would be my only little complaint. But that's a nitpick. Yeah. And the rest of the psychology, I thought, was pretty perfect for a match this gruesome.
Yeah.
I thought they actually played it really well. Everybody got a moment. My girl Harley Cameron, everybody killed it. The men's match was great too, because no one thought Kyle O'Reilly was going to get a huge moment, and he fucking did. And Kyle O'Reilly is a guy who I would compare to like Finn Balor in the WWE, who's immensely talented but does a lot of jobs. And it's nice seeing him get a big win over a main event top world champion caliber guy like Moxley.
Yeah, he didn't just tap out somebody. He tapped out
Moxley. And Moxley kind of went out of his way to make this guy look like a badass. And the counter out of the ankle lock, and then him getting back into it and doing the Kurt Angle and fucking wrenching it, like that was perfect. And the blood covered on his face. It was just, that was a great ending to the match. Great finish. I think both matches had great finishes. I just think the action in the women's matches was a little better.
I liked it when Tekla, because Tekla and Julia Hart, escaping the cage through the trusses.
Yeah.
Tekla is known as the Spider Lady. Yeah. So she should be doing that shit.
Well, I think the complaint's more for leaving the cage go to the men's match, because it's like, dude, we're already in a War Games. Why does Darby have to get out of the cage and go through a flaming table over there? Like that, you can just do an Extreme Rules match for that, or a hardcore match. You don't like, why don't we set the table up and well, you don't want to light the table on fire in the ring with that many guys in it, but still. No. Like, why can't we just do a cool spot in the ring? So I get what people are saying with that, but it's like, this is blood and guts. This is chaos. That's AEW. That's what you're going to get. And I thought it all worked. Like I said, the women's match was better. I'd give that like a 4-3, and the men's just a straight 4. But I think AEW really I like that they did this just a few weeks before War Games, so people that watch both or see clips of this that watch War Games are like, oh, they really went after it. AEW actually gave us like I know it's not called Blood and Guts for WWE, it's called War Games, but they didn't really go to war that much. Whereas the AEW did give you Blood and Guts.
Yep, they lived up to the name.
Yeah. I'm sure the psychology and I'm sure the pacing and the moves and I'm sure War Games will be great, but it's not going to give you the brutality that this match gave you. And that's just because they can't. They're going to kids and families and shit. They can't give you that.
Exactly.
It's funny. It's funny. They're targeting kids and families as far as like their product goes, but they're not pricing it for them.
No.
They're trying to price families out.
Yeah. They're just like, no, you can't do it. You can't. We want the people that take the $1,000 to the strip club. We want them to come see, spend a ticket on us first.
Yeah.
Apparently, SmackDown's going back to 3 hours. Did you see it?
I just saw that. I just saw that about that.
Yeah.
Wait, what was going on here?
SmackDown's going back to 3
SmackDown's
hours.
3 hours again. And the only
Starting January 2nd.
SmackDown has gotten no love at all as far as this new era. And the Raw's Netflix has been such the A show. And SmackDown has gotten fucking dogged on so much. And the only good thing about SmackDown the past couple years, or no, the past few months, was that it was 2 hours. Was that it was a slick? That was the best part, is that it's like, oh, it's a nice sharp 2 hours.
Yep.
When it was 3, it was fucking hard to get through. And now, because it's the content's not even that great. So another hour of that, Jesus fucking.
On a Friday night?
Yeah, like another. And listen, I love the Motor City Machine Guns in TNA in 2010. And 2011. I'm sorry, but I don't need to see another hour of the Machine Guns. And fucking Champ is great, but the Profits are getting old, man, and the Wyatt Six ain't catching on, and a lot of that shit. Besides Cody and Drew, and even that story is a little weird. There really isn't much to SmackDown, and now Jade's getting her moment. I like Jade.
Yeah. By the way,
it's going to retire. So what are they going to do? Only have Cody?
So apparently, and that the SmackDown that they're gonna when it starts January 2nd, that's the SmackDown they moved to Buffalo. Yeah. So they're really trying to get us to go, but we already got our refund, bitches.
Did they cancel your last show?
Yeah, because we bought tickets to Raw and they said, no, fuck you, you're going to SmackDown. They changed that Raw to Brooklyn and changed my tickets to that Friday night SmackDown. I was promised Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and fucking CM Punk, and I was given The Miz, Carmelo Hayes, and fucking Pretty Deadly. Or Kit. The other one's not even in, right?
Yeah, the other one's hurt right now.
Yeah. They tried to fight. It's like, nah, I'll take my money back. I'm good. SmackDown's great. I mean, I enjoyed the SmackDown we went to see LA Knight win the U.S. title. LA Knight's not there anymore. So as far as SmackDown, not as invested and kind of felt a little like, a little ripped off at first. Because I think, Raw's a better show.
Yeah.
But they made it right. So thank you, WWE. Well, Ticketmaster, whoever the fuck. All right. Clash of Champions seasons meetings. UTC Arena, 8,000 in attendance, December 7th, 1988.
19 days away from Starrcade. There's Starrcade's the day after Christmas.
And that's going to be Luger and Flair, right?
Luger and Flair for the world title. Dusty and Sting versus the Road Warriors for the tag title.
Yeah. So that's going to be they're looking forward to that. Now, there's a couple angles going into this, and there's a lot of controversy. The big thing, and not really controversial, but this is the first show under really WCW.
Yeah.
Because they had just kind of got bought by Turner.
Right.
So now they're WCW. The company wasn't doing amazing, but they were doing all right. And, they're leading up to the Starrcade, but Dusty's getting ousted, and they don't want him there anymore because he does the angle with the Road Warriors on TV where they turn heel and they put the spike in his eye, and they got mad that because Dusty's creative, and they got mad that he booked that because it was way too violent.
Yeah.
Even though that's a great angle. But.
Yeah, and I think it was right before that too. That's when they did the angle with the original Midnight Express, and Paulie Dangerously come in, and they attack the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette, and they make Cornette bleed. And Dusty told Cornette, it's like, only bleed a little bit. Do not bleed a lot.
Yeah.
Cornette couldn't figure out how to, he had done the thing because he's never bladed before. So he, kept going like that. And then all of a sudden, he's bleeding buckets. And Dusty's just like, it was a great angle, baby. But what did I tell you? And then he did the spot where he got spiked in the eye. And then that's when Turner was just like, all right, fat man, you're out.
Yeah. But this is a weird show going back because at first it's like, oh yeah, old NWA, Ric Flair, the Horsemen, but it's kind of a fever dream because you're like, the Horsemen aren't really the Horsemen because Arn Tully left by this point. The Midnights are babyface, which is so weird, and the LOD is heel, which is even weirder.
Yeah.
And it's just there's so many things about that. It's WCW and it's NWA, but it's a little off and it's a little weird. And things are in kind of a weird place.
Yeah.
Where we're at. You expect to see maybe a babyface Legion of Doom versus a heel, Midnight. So when everything's
babyface.
Yeah, and he's cutting a promo, and his promo at the end of the show was very good, but classic Cornette, long-winded as fuck. And Jan, I'm saying, he's like, listen, man, I was like, breathe. Take a second and fucking breathe, dude. And he's just fucking like, hey, fucking listen, brother, and Paul, and we're not gonna let this slide and that slide.
We're gonna kick and we're gonna beat up the Horsemen again. And it's just like, okay, well, just so you know, Windham leaves in February.
And then he's like getting the crowd. He's like, maybe we can bring it back here to fucking. And it's like, it's weird seeing him be like a good guy.
Yeah.
But
by the way, Chattanooga, Tennessee would be the home later on of the Chamber of Horrors match from Halloween Havoc 91.
So they always got good shit.
Yeah.
All right, the first match, we have the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers against Eddie Gilbert, who's one of the unsung heroes of wrestling, and one of the greatest of all time, Ron Simmons. A young Ron Simmons in a tag team match for the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. This is the final of a tournament. And this is the longest match on the show. This goes about a half hour, 27 minutes. And I thought it was a great opener. And I watched, you remember that Shawn Michaels Shoot interview from 2000, when he first did one?
Yeah.
Where I remember him talking on there, and he talked about the old time. And I think he was talking about WWF, but he was saying how the old timers could get lazy. And how you would have lazy matches, and the hardworking guys like him and Brett came in. And to some respect, he's telling the truth. But when you talk about especially the NWA and these matches, these guys were not fucking lazy at all.
No.
And yeah, there was some rest holds, but there was a lot of big sequences, especially the ending sequence to this match where Eddie Gilbert's flying the fuck around like nobody's business, and like Ricky Steamboat, and he's really fucking working his ass off, and Ron Simmons is fucking doing all these power slams, and the Fantastics could go. And this match was just two teams that really fucking wanted it and really wanted to put on the best shit. You can tell they wanted the opener to be badass. And for old school wrestling, for people that are old school's boring, you watch this match, this is actually pretty damn exciting.
Yeah, and Eddie sold the fact that his arm was hurt.
Yeah, then he went into the post and did a Goldberg thing, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was a good finish, even though the roll-up was a little slow. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, they were getting to the point to where the match was because even though it says 27 minutes there, they made you think that it was 29 minutes there because they're 30 seconds remaining in time limit.
Yeah, but that shit's not accurate.
Well, that's what they do because they gimmick their clocks.
Yeah.
So they gimmick the clock, which, by the way, like when I say gimmick the clock, I mean there is no fucking clock.
Yeah, exactly.
And
they make it up.
It's
30
like,
seconds left.
It's like in the Royal Rumble match when they have the timer go down.
It just happened in Blood and Guts. There was no intervals. Like they came out like every 30 seconds.
Yeah,
whatever the fuck they felt like it.
Yeah, the clock was weird. It felt like 5 minutes, and then the next one's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was literally like they didn't even say. But at least AEW, they didn't even say that there was timed intervals. The Royal Rumble put up the graphics like every 90 seconds, and then they come out in 2 minutes. You're like, what the fuck? Or 30 seconds. So yeah, that's how it's always been in wrestling, and that's fine. And I thought that they worked this match, and the fact that it's like, oh, it's going to the time limit. This was a perfect old school tag team bout with 4 guys that really fucking wanted it. And Dusty really wanted to get Ron Simmons over, and you can tell as like a young baby. And this is right before he gets put with Doom, and Butch Reed, and they go on to have some success, a good amount. But him and Eddie was a pretty fun babyface. For a babyface versus babyface match, I was into this. What were you going to say, Eric?
I thought both tag teams had great chemistry together, especially Simmons and Gilbert.
Yes.
Yeah. And Eddie by the way, like there's a story going around when they tried to turn Ron Simmons heel. Or when they turned Ron Simmons heel in the summer of 89, him and Eddie actually worked a match together, and they were in Memphis. And Eddie was on the booking committee at the time, and Ron Simmons was booked to go over because Ric Flair felt, okay, Ron Simmons is a hoss and should go over. Eddie, because they were in Memphis, which was his hometown, Eddie changed the finish because he has the authority to do that because he's on the booking committee.
Yeah.
Well, Flair didn't like that. So Flair decided, okay, you're off the fucking committee, and I'm replacing you with Cornette.
Yeah.
So Eddie Gilbert, I guess, used to tell the story that he walked into the booking committee meeting, and Jim Cornette was sitting in his chair. And Jim Cornette, kind of rebutted that with, we didn't have assigned seating, and I was just asked to be on the committee, and Ric Flair didn't like him.
Yeah.
So, or didn't like Eddie Gilbert. So,
which sucks, because if those two could get along, like, imagine the beauty they could have together, which I think they have had matches, but like those are two really great wrestlers.
Yeah. I don't know if he ever worked with Flair, but I know he worked with Arn.
But Eddie and Flair could have had magic in there.
Yeah.
If they would have, like, that's crazy. Because those are both great. Like, Eddie Gilbert's one of those guys that was fucking great and could have been like a world champion, like a big star anywhere, and just never quite got there. And, and he got into the deal with, it wasn't Missy, right?
No, he was married to Missy for a while. He was
married to Missy. He took her from our boy, Tatum.
From John Tatum. And then he was also married to Medusa for a while. And
he knows talent.
Yeah. He was married to Medusa, and it was funny because like when he was when he was in Global, Medusa was in WCW, and like the offices for Global were in Atlanta, but for some reason they taped everything in Dallas. And like they really wanted Medusa to come into Global, but Dusty Rhodes was just like, nah, baby, we need you here.
We need you here.
Eddie Gilbert was just one of those guys that he was just so good. Unfortunately, taken from us way too soon. And he did have a creative mind.
Yes, he had a mind for the business.
Yeah,
he would have been a great booker. And he was.
Well, he was a great booker. I mean, when I had the Global guys on a few weeks ago, they were talking about how good he was.
But if he could have got to the WWE and like work like him and PSA, like if he could have gotten that with Pritchard and PSAs and stuff, he could have been one of the good minds.
I remember they were I remember they did that Heat Seekers episode of Legends of Wrestling, and they had talked about Missy Hyatt a little bit. And Jim Ross goes, anybody have anything they want to say about Missy before she calls her lawyers? Mm-hmm. And Michael Hayes goes, well, we could call Hollywood John Tatum and ask about Missy. He goes, I mean, we can't call Eddie Gilbert. And JR just looks in the camera and goes, all right, we're going to end on death, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a great episode.
I love that. That's my favorite episode of the show. We're going to end on death.
Cleneth, what did you think of this match? You got to see this one, right?
Yeah, I got to see this one. And I thought I enjoyed the match. It was a good back and forth match. I mean, out of all the Clash of the Champions I've been watching, I think this had to be one of the best ones I watched of Clash of Champions.
Hell yeah.
I agree with that.
I know, because I've made you watch some shitty Clash of Champions before.
Yeah, yes, you did.
All right. What will we give this match a rating? Eric, I'll start with you.
I give it a 3.5. I thought it was a good opener. Both teams had good chemistry. Among the four, all of them were showcased their talent, especially Ron Simmons.
Oh yeah, he definitely got
Great
the show
athlete.
out here. I'm gonna give it a straight 4 because I thought it was great NWA tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
It's something that WWE has never really been able to offer.
I'm also going to go 4.
WWE offered it. I think they didn't. They just waited a decade later to offer it. Put it that way.
Yeah, there's been peaks and valleys. But I mean, like, look at the tag division now. Are we going to say it's a priority?
Well, tag
No.
division now, but I think back when when the Dudleys, Hardys, and Edge and Christian was making names, that's when the tag team was at the finest.
Yeah, for like 3 years.
Hey,
and you even had
put it that. And then you have to put it. Even I will say, when SmackDown first started, they focused a lot on the Street Profits and the SmackDown tag division. They also put it. Even though, to me, I thought they should have been on the PLEs and not just focused on SmackDown itself. I think that's what really screwed them out.
I think the SmackDown tag division, especially right now, is one of the worst. But like, I mean, La Resistance, and like, you've got a lot of fucking, shitty. Like, they've never really put the spotlight for WWE goes on tag teams when it's 2 big stars teaming up against 2 other big stars.
Yeah.
But they're good at putting tag team matches like that, like Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth and stuff like that. But as far as like a really strong tag team division, you're not even gonna like the Attitude Era one was strong because even besides those 3 teams, you had fucking Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, and you had fucking Kai and Tai, and you had like Crash and Hardcore and a lot of. So you had a great one there, but still on WCW you had the Outsiders, you had the Steiners, you had the Harlem Heat, you had the Public Enemy, you had probably a stronger tag division.
Don't forget Ming and Barbarian, because they'll find us and beat the shit out of us.
Yeah, well, we don't want that.
I ain't afraid of those guys. Bring it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was Cleneth that said that, Mig.
Yeah.
I'm not really scared of Barbarian, but Mig's known as one of the biggest ass kickers
Well,
ever.
Barbarian, and I could say this. Barbarian once flirted with Mindy at a fucking at an autograph signing. I mean, and he looked at me like, because I told him about how I enjoyed like the one tag team Survivor Series match that they were in from '88 with all the tag teams in it.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and goes, "How the hell do you remember that?" And I'm like, "I just have it." He goes, "We were there and we don't even remember who we went against." And Warlord's looking at me like, "Jesus Christ, dude, get a life."
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to me, WWE's tag division, yes, there has been several peaks, but there's been a lot of valleys.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of fucking, bad tag team divisions from them. Whereas other companies, especially like AEW when they first started, was great. Now they're a little lost. But WCW and NWA, when I think about that legacy, I think of tag teams. I think of the Andersons. I think of the Briscoes. Like there's so many great tag teams from back in the day. And, Dusty and Murdoch. Like,
Yeah. Well, they were an AWA team.
yeah, but didn't they in Florida? Weren't they a part of the NWA?
I mean, I think they were more. Eric, you got the wrong logo up. Quit playing with your computer.
Wow.
Hold on. There you go.
There. No, they were AWA. They might have gone to Florida together, but I'm not.
But it's still a different company. Than
Yeah.
WWE. So, territory wrestling and WCW, always great tag teams, and I think this proved it.
Well, I mean, going back a long time ago, Crockett in the Carolinas was a tag team territory.
Yeah.
So, in the 70s, and then
the rock and roll and the Midnights and the Road Warriors.
Well, no, I'm going all the way back to the 70s. When they were known mainly for tag teams, and then
those teams,
the Andersons, God, I can't remember how, but but tag teams were on top, and then they got switched to a single territory because John Rangley, who was married to Francis Crockett, that he was running it that way, and he had. It was a tag team territory. Well, then he decided he was going to start cheating on his. Eric, I'm going to come to your house and break your hands. Quit pushing buttons.
I mean, that's a cool.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let him do his thing. Just keep doing it.
So he started, screwing around on Francis Crockett. So they ousted him, and then he. And then they changed it to a tag. They changed it to a single territory.
Cleneth, what do you rate this match?
I will give it a 3.
All right. Next up, you ready?
Yep.
Dr. Death, Steve Williams with Kevin Sullivan representing the Varsity Club, right?
Yeah.
Going against the Italian Stallion.
This match was a lot better than it should have been.
Stallion's a famous jobber.
Yeah. And they giving them 15 minutes
was insane.
Yeah.
It almost went as long as the main event, which is crazy. But they worked their asses off, and they did try to make this a good match. So I think that they all tried their best, and like both of them, like Dr. Death was trying to prove out that he's the shit, and Italian Stallion was doing a lot to make him look great.
Yeah. I don't know. Should we let Eric in, or should we let him figure it out by himself?
I'd say we just keep going the show and just.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened to Eric?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah,
Are
sorry,
you gonna quit pushing buttons now?
I had to go to a different screen. My mouse is not working.
All right then. But
were you going on something or no?
Which one?
I don't know.
Dr. Death and the Italian Stallion. Eric, what did you think of this one?
I thought it was a good brawl. Even though Dr. Death dominated the match, I thought it was a good dominant match by Dr. Death. I give it a 3.
Well said. And I agree. I'm going to give it a 3 too, because I think that they worked their asses off. And I do think that the opener is a lot stronger.
Yeah.
But this is a fun little mid-card match where Italian Stallion's trying to get him over, and Dr. Death looks pretty fucking badass.
He looks badass, but Stallion also, like, it wasn't just 15 minutes of Doc beating the shit out of the Stallion.
No, Stallion got a lot of offense.
Stallion got some offense in it. And Italian Stallion, first of all, when you spend the majority of your time working television matches that only go about 4 or 5 minutes, and then they tell you, oh yeah, we're going to be on TBS, national television, primetime slot. You're going to go 15 minutes. And by the way, you're wrestling Dr. Death. I mean, I would be shitting my pants.
Yeah.
He
did it good though. He did look a little gassed towards the end.
He did. He's just like, why the fuck is this going 15 minutes? I usually work 5.
Dr. Death looked like a natural the whole time, and it looked like he could have gone a half hour more.
Yeah.
But Stallion by the end, that poor fuck, he was red and fucking sweating hard. Fucking like, God damn it, are we done yet?
I mean, I'm giving the match a 4.5.
Holy shit. It's better than the opener.
Yeah.
I was rooting for the Italian Stallion.
Me too. I knew he was going to lose. And I like the promo from Sullivan after. He used to be damn charming.
Yeah, Sullivan and Rotunda, as they're trying to build up the Starrcade match between Rotunda and Steiner.
Which,
Steiner,
by the way, our best wishes with Mike Rotunda right now.
Yeah, recovered. I think it was a stroke that he had. He's not in like hospice. He's in a recovery center he had I believe it was either a stroke or a heart attack.
But our best wishes with him.
Yeah.
And that poor family.
Yeah. But him selling the Starrcade match with Steiner, and then Steiner's promo later on when him and Magnum TA are talking about the belly to belly suplex.
Yeah.
And he goes, and Magnum goes, I used to use it. He goes, you used to use it? Yeah. I used it. And then he's got like the little hand puppet thing out, drawn on his hand. Alex is, Rick Steiner uses the belly to belly.
Cleneth, what do you give this match? Did you get this one?
No, I didn't get to this one yet.
All right, let's move on. Ivan Koloff and Paul Jones. And Mr. Ivan.
Main event anywhere in the country.
But I like this match because I like what they do here. Where they have Ivan, he's like, you know what? I'm going to kick your ass with one hand behind my back.
Yeah.
And I like how Paul Jones kind of looked like he was either dressing up to play an extra in Peter Pan, to play Adolf Hitler himself with the stash and the haircut, or Lord Farquaad from Shrek. Because he had a lot of things going with that outfit. With the red pants and the fucking little Dutch boy haircut, like Shawn Michaels in Elimination Chamber 2002 Survivor Series, and the red pants that look like he's one of the merry men. He looked interesting.
By the way, at one time, this guy defeated Jack Briscoe for the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight title.
Bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
And this is a fun match, and it's a good match, but I like that Ivan Koloff had and he still beat him with one fucking hand.
Yeah.
And it was like a big W for him. And he was the babyface, right?
Yeah, he had been turned babyface because Paul Jones and the Russian Assassins attacked him after he lost a Russian chain match to Ricky Morton at the last Clash of Champions.
And the Russian Assassins came in after this as well.
Yeah.
Started kicking his ass. Which those guys do not look like Russian Assassins. They looked fucking. This was so wrestling, and it was so like a bunch of goofs and masks.
Yeah.
It's like, the Russian Assassins. And it was just, it was corny, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with this match.
It was good. There wasn't a bad match on the show.
I'm going to give it a flat 3.
I'm going to agree.
I agree with that. 3.
E Nasty agrees with that. You fucking cock sandwich. All right, next up, we have one of the biggest programs on the show, but like I said earlier, the network got pissed. They're trying to get Dusty out of there. So this thing only gets a couple minutes, which is total bullshit because it's one of the most over things in the show and the crowd is into it. But Road Warrior Animal with Hawk against Dusty Rhodes. And it's a singles match for control of the 6-man tag championships. And they're building up to the tag match with him and Sting at Starrcade.
Yep.
But you can tell that they wanted to get this out of there quick because they're trying to get rid of Dusty. Because this only gets a couple minutes, even though everything that happens in it, all of Dusty's offense, the crowd's going fucking bananas. When Sting comes out, the crowd goes fucking bananas. Even when he grabs the chair and starts fucking Animal up with it and starts going after the leg. Like, they really fucking... Like, they were trying to keep the band... Like, if they would have just let them be them, this could have been a great story.
Yeah.
But they weren't letting them be creative, and they were limiting Dusty's creative potential, which I know Dusty's had bad ideas, but he's also one of the geniuses of this thing that we call wrestling. Like the thing that
they were just trying to make an example out of him because of...
I know, but if we're doing a Mount Rushmore of geniuses, he's on there with Vince, Paul, and fucking... God, who's the fourth? It's Vince, Paul Heyman, Dusty
Sullivan.
Rhodes, Kevin Sullivan, yeah. I mean, responsible for Goldberg,
guess so.
responsible for Nitro, the Nitro era.
Yeah.
He is a genius.
I almost said Dungeon of
I
Doom,
can't
but that
give
would
it to
defeat my
fucking
point.
Bischoff, I'll tell you that much. But
Well, you said Vince, Heyman, Dusty.
yeah, as far as pro wrestling, fucking Patterson.
Yeah.
Pat Patterson.
Pat
The
Patterson.
creator of the Royal Rumble.
I mean, you could also kind of throw in
Well, yeah, I mean, you could make a top 10 geniuses. But
Yeah.
I think if we're talking about Rushmore, that's a pretty strong 4.
yeah.
I know a lot of people will say Vince isn't a genius. He's just a trailblazer. But to do what he did, you got to be very smart,
Yeah.
Yeah.
even if you just listen to a lot of people. And Michael Hayes is a smart guy and all that. But to me, that would be my 4 for Mount Rushmore. But Dusty's on there, and he's one of the smartest guys. And if they would have just let him do his creative shit and be the creative guy he is and have the program with the Road Warriors he wanted to have, we could have gotten great stuff.
Yeah.
But instead, we got short stuff. Because the match at Starrcade wasn't long either, was it?
It was only like 8 minutes, I think.
So this is one of the biggest programs in the company, and it's being made to like be filler and be quick, and it's stupid. And I really like this. This wasn't much of a match. I'm still going to give it a flat 3 because it was it's some of the most entertaining stuff on the show. It just doesn't last long.
Yeah.
But I like the Road Warriors and Dusty and Sting going at it.
Yeah, I'll
Oh.
give it a 3.
I'll agree with 3.
And that little boy with the Sting makeup, it was like, oh, a little Stinger in the crowd. Like, he was so fucking over back then, and he was such a fucking hero to the kids.
Yeah, he was what WWF wanted Ultimate Warrior to be.
Exactly. And the Crow Sting, like, even though it wasn't, they weren't doing it for as many people, like, the Surfer Sting still fucked hard, and it was awesome. And the biggest shame of the Crow Sting, even though it's one of the greatest characters in wrestling history, is that it totally overshadows how damn good Surfer Sting was and how great he was for the years before Crow Sting, because he was great.
How over he was.
And
All right, so
all
here's
the
my-
little stickers and all the it was corny wrestling shit a lot of the time, but it was great stuff, and he was so over, and the crowd was so electric.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Cleneth. What were you saying?
So here's my question for you guys, because I see this a lot. Ever since the whole Crows thing, he never went back to Surfer whatsoever. Why is that? How come the Surfer thing never really came back?
Probably because it's so 80s.
And also to remember,
He aged out.
he had to get his hair like that. Remember in 95, 96, that whole, like Bobby Heenan used to say, the Bart Simpson hairdo went away because he started, letting his natural hair color come through,
Yeah.
which was he was more of a brunette. I mean, I'm pretty sure his natural hair color is he's a brunette.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he dyes it black now, slick black. But
Now he lets it be gray.
he looks badass now, by the way. He is aged perfectly. Sting looks great. But Sting,
He would scare the shit out of Art the Clown because it looks like he's basically Art the Clown in 20 years.
but him coming to that one convention with the Wolfpack makeup again, that
Yeah.
he just did recently, like for one last time, it was fucking awesome.
Well, yeah, because he's out of the gimmick as of January 1st of next year.
Yeah.
Like he said, I'm going home. I'm gonna sit home with my wife, my grandkids,
Yeah.
and I'm not coming out again. Like Sting is gone, and I'm just gonna be Steve Borden.
Which is fine. He's pulling an Undertaker, which is okay. Hopefully he doesn't do a podcast with his wife. Well, as long as his
Probably
wife's
will.
not Michelle McCool. I'm just,
It won't.
shots fired.
Him and Nick.
There goes our jabs.
Yeah, he'll be doing it. Watch him and Rick Steiner do a podcast. Him, Steiner, and Luger. And the first episode is going to be about.
Cheating on their wife.
Yeah, the first episode is going to be Luger and Steiner finally getting their revenge on Sting for outing them for them porking other women and cheating on their wives.
No, but also to answer Clinton's question, imagine Sting at 50 years old in TNA with his shirt off and the blonde hair and the face paint. I think he probably just thought it was like corny after a certain time too. Like I'm sure he's like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to have blonde strap. I'm fucking 50 years old, dude. I'm sure that because by Crow he was like 35, right? WCW. When he finally...
Crow, he was almost. He was like 37, 38.
Yeah, so he was already getting old when he made the transition and stopped being that. So to try to go back to it, I'm sure he would have felt a little silly.
Yeah.
Did we all give this match a rating? You and Eric.
Yes.
All right, on to the main event. Looked like this is going to be a quickie for everybody. And if you've seen me and Doug in the bedroom, you already know that. But Ric Flair and Barry Windham. Eric, are you frozen? Eric, it was you that froze.
Yeah, frozen.
He just texted me, did you freeze or did I? And I thought he was looking at me the whole time.
I guess I shouldn't have brought up earlier in the show that his internet connection is better. I just jinxed it.
Cursed his ass, Doug.
That's
It's okay. Ric Flair and Barry Windham with J.J. Dillon at ringside against the Midnight Express babyfaces Bobby Eaton and Sweet Stan Lane with Jim Cornette by their side. And this one was everything you would expect it to be because all four guys are some of the best wrestlers to ever do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Stan Lane was good, but the other three are like the elite top 10 workers ever. Whereas like Barry Windham matches from back then are some of the greatest matches ever. Ric Flair obviously is Ric Flair, and Bobby Eaton's one of the most underrated workers just because he was in a tag team. Bobby Eaton's one of the best in the ring of all time.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
he was way better than any of his tags. Like him and fucking like when they looked the Rock and Roll in the Midnights, it was really the Rock and Roll versus Bobby Eaton.
Yeah.
And his shit was just so fucking. He was so great.
Remember, his father-in-law was on this program a few years ago, Bill Dundee.
But Bobby's the one that just never got. I mean, he got his credit back then, but like when you talk about the annals and the history of wrestling and like some of the he's one of the greatest to ever strap up a pair of boots. He fucking kills it.
I think Ric Flair has even said that he's probably the greatest wrestler in the history of professional wrestling. Flair's even said that he's better than him.
Yeah. And Rick said great things about Barry as well.
Yeah.
And Barry was the man back then.
Well, remember,
because he was a big, tall guy that could do all that shit.
and remember Flair, when Flair was going through all the turmoil in 91, and I'm going to watch how much I say because, you know, we're going to talk about what the show topic is for next week. And I actually plan on saying all this next week too.
Yeah.
In 91, when Flair was going through all that turmoil and he was, you know, thinking of leaving but they really wanted him to drop the title to Luger. He was just like, I'll drop it to Barry. Like Barry deserves a run with the title. And they're like, we want it to be Luger. We don't want it to be Barry. And he's just like, if you want me dropping the fucking title, it's going to be to Barry Windham.
Yeah.
Now, if you would like me to hold on to the title, I will be more than happy to. Luger is not ready. Barry Windham is.
And he was right.
Yeah, because when Luger got the title, I mean, it was very, I mean, it wasn't a good run. Well, it was a bad time for the company.
Yeah, and he drew money on that initial breaking up with the Horsemen, but he wasn't quite ready. To me, 96, 97 Luger's the best Luger.
Yeah.
Eric, it's great having you back, and you look beautiful.
I think Doug jinxed me today.
Yeah, we said
we
that.
actually said that after you went on, after you froze it.
Because it was twice that happened.
Yeah. So
apologize.
I apologize.
Maybe tomorrow I won't freeze. Maybe it's reverse now.
Tomorrow I'll shut my fucking mouth. Well, I mean,
that's not possible.
No, I should rephrase that. I'm not going to shut my fucking mouth tomorrow because I got to do the majority of the talking.
Yeah, that's not the best thing to do on a podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like we do a podcast where we're mainly talking, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna mime the entire fucking. I don't even know what the hell I just did.
That would be a fun episode.
Are you wearing a costume tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
There's no costume really for me to wear, and I didn't.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Well, I mean, I could have bought a Beetlejuice costume, but I'm not spending $75.
Yeah, I don't buy it. That's cray.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, what did you think of Rick and Barry versus the Midnights?
I thought it was a good, very good, solid main event. All four guys are Are they all in the Hall of Fame, or is it just Rip?
The Midnights
Yeah.
aren't there yet.
Midnights are not there yet.
No,
That's unacceptable.
that is unacceptable.
It should have been there 10 years ago.
I agree. And the rock and roll has been, right?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that the Midnights are not in the Hall of Fame because of who their manager is.
But hasn't he done stuff isn't he in the Hall of Fame?
No, they haven't put him in yet. Like, they keep talking about wanting to do it. And there's a lot of people within WWE calling for it. But they haven't done it yet.
Well,
So-
I think all three of them deserve to be.
Oh,
in
absolutely. And the fact that Cornette and Cornette and Stan Lane are both still with us, as is Dennis Condrey, who's an original member.
Yep.
They can all accept it. Unfortunately, Bobby's no longer with us. Which that's a sad tale because his wife passed away, and then a month later he passed.
Yeah.
Which was
that recent?
about 2 or 3 years ago. It was.
I
just
remember when were they on like AEW a few times?
Bobby wasn't. No,
Okay.
that was the Rock and Roll, not the Midnights.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I always get them confused.
But
Yeah.
Jim was there before at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he inducted the Rock and Roll because the Rock and Roll Express said, "You want us to go in? Cornette's inducting us."
That's amazing.
And I remember like hearing a story that Kevin Dunn's just like, fuck.
Because he was he's the one that yelled at him in the crowd. He's like, "You beaver teeth motherfucker, I'm gonna throw you across this fucking room.
And I'm gonna rip your fucking teeth out of your mouth." And fucking I remember Cornette saying, "I'm Jim Cornette. This is a live microphone, and the asshole in the back that's controlling the microphone is now on Xanax."
Did he say that?
Yeah.
In the speech?
He said that at the beginning of the speech because I remember people even were just like at the beginning of the when because they used to do those red carpet bullshit things.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton, they're like, "Well, what are you looking forward to the most?" He goes, "I'm not really looking forward to the inductees. I'm looking more forward to the inductor, Jim Cornette. Because I want to hear what Cornette has to say." And then they fucking cut away from him. And then Dean Ambrose, John Moxley as we know him now, leader of the Shit Riders, he even said he's just like, "I'm looking forward to the Rock and Roll Express's Hall of Fame induction just because I want to hear Cornette speak." and again, there's people in the back that are just like, "Oh, fucking hell."
He's a man.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette has grown on me.
He's another. He could have made the Mount Rushmore, honestly, of geniuses.
Yeah.
But he's more just pure entertainment than anything. But
Yep.
Smart guy too. Very smart and very much knows the business more than we do.
I love his stories. I love the story of when they went to New York. They were on MTV back in 1990.
Yeah.
And he's just like they're in this cheap ass limousine, and they get out of the limousine for some reason to go get something to eat, and they go back, and the limo driver went out with them to get something to eat, and he locked the keys in the car. And they're all wearing fur coats.
Yeah.
Or no, this was in 88.
Yeah.
So they were in New York City doing promotion for that Bunkhouse Stampede pay-per-view that they did. That was that aired the same day as the free Royal Rumble event on television.
Yeah.
So they're doing the keys are locked in the car, and it's Jim Cornette, Bobby Eaton, Stan Lane, and Francis Crockett. And they're all in full length. It's wintertime, full length fur coats, including Francis Crockett. And he's just like, Francis Crockett, she looks like she's charging the light brigade. He goes, she's the world's oldest fucking hooker.
Yeah.
And Sean Oliver is bent down laughing. And then Jim Cornette's just like, "What's the matter with you?"
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Well, quit telling these fucking stories so I can fucking." I mean, Cornette is one hell of a story, and it's very hard to focus after he tells a story.
It is.
Because it's just like
He's so damn good. And this match told a story.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really good. And even though him and Dylan kind of stole the shine from the ring at the end.
Oh, when
which
he's
is classic
fucking whacking
Cornette.
him in the ass with the tennis racket.
It was just classic Cornette. And then, like, Flair's getting the pin in the ring, and then they're like, oh, he beat him at the end. And it's like, oh, we were watching Cornette and Dylan fight. But I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a great tag main event, just like we had a great tag opener. I'm going to give it a 3.9. Actually, a flat 4. I'll give it a flat 4.
I gotta
I'm
go.
gonna get a flat 4 too.
I'm gonna go 4.5 again. I enjoyed the hell out of this.
I kind of enjoyed this more than the first tag, the opener, but both were great.
Yeah.
And the way you guys talk about this thing, you make it seem like the opener was like the best thing out of the match, and the rest is just like on the undercard.
I mean, it was a really good main event. I mean, this was a really good show. And because they actually treated their Clash of Champions back in the day like they meant something.
Yeah. And you could tell that they weren't Saturday night's main event, and they weren't really trying to be by this point, and they were just trying to put on a really good wrestling show. That over-the-top camera that they were trying really didn't work.
Oh my god,
it was
that
funny
thing
when
pissed me the fuck off.
That has only ever worked one time in the TLC matches.
Well, yeah, because didn't Jim Cornette, or not Cornette, Lawler always call that the Wile E. Coyote cam?
I think so. And seeing like Edge fall from the ladder at that, like, that was cool. All right. Let's give this show a rating, boys.
Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry for burping at you, Nick. I will say.
I mean, I farted at you like 3 times already, so.
I will say that this whole show was a very good show. I know that they were in a tumultuous time for the company, but the show that they put on was still very entertaining. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I think it was a solid ass show. That it's not the best of WCW or the NWA, but it's still pretty solid and a lot of great workers on this show. So.
Yeah.
Eric?
Of the Clash of Champions, this is probably maybe the best one. Of the ones that we've watched, maybe the best or the second best. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Solid show.
Yeah, I don't know if the Clash of Champions where the hardliners come in and they injure the wrong Steiner kind of matches up to this. Measures up to this. This was a phenomenal show. You got big performances out of guys who sometimes don't even really get that opportunity to shine.
Yeah.
Italian Stallion, I mean, he had I think and he made Doc look like $1 million.
Yep. He worked his ass off.
Yeah. So I mean, kudos to him, kudos to everybody that worked on the show. I'm gonna give it a 8.5.
All right. So I think we're all decided.
Yeah. I mean, Cleneth didn't get, well, Cleneth only watched like
yes. All right. We will see everybody next time. The next show we're doing next week is top 10 WCW flops of all time. So every time they've ever fucked up, we get to talk about, which was many times. And it can be characters, it can be storylines, it can be anything. Company decisions.
I think you three might all actually have the same list. I'm going to try to go like older.
Yeah.
Because I am so
we're making a top 10 biggest flops of all time?
WCW flops.
WCW flops. Okay.
This is perfect for you, Cleneth, because you're watching WCW right now.
Yeah, but I've been skipping through a lot of the boring stuff.
You might have to rewatch it now.
You skip through is the stuff you can put on your list, and then I'll just fill in the blanks for you.
Yeah,
sounds good.
He's just like, yeah, go ahead.
Well, all right, let's put it this way: I'm not a big fan of the whole rock when they started bringing the stars in, like Dennis Rodman and Lawrence Taylor. I was, after that, I'm just not a big fan of that stuff.
There you go.
The
Put that on
funny
your
thing
list.
is a lot of the stuff that were flops I enjoyed when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's like Kenny Lehman, who's a who's a
Friend
friend
of
of
the
the
show.
show, used to do the show a lot. And then which usually sucked when we had him on, because when we had him on Blog Talk, we always had a time limit.
Yeah.
The 2-hour time limit, and every time we had him on, the show would be like an hour and 57 minutes. But him and I remember one time we were talking, we were sitting at dinner and we were talking about WCW, and I said, remember when we both loved heavy metal Van Hammer when we were kids? And he said to me, he goes, Doug, and I'm gonna clean it up because I can't say what he actually said. Yeah. But he's like, Doug, remember, we were 5 years old and we were both extremely stupid.
So there you go.
And I'm like, fair point. And he just said it very eloquently too. He said it very calmly. Which, by the way, calm was not necessarily
either of your ballparks. All right, we already plugged the cartoon show, correct?
I mean, I didn't give the. I said we were doing it tomorrow. I didn't give like the full lineup.
All right, what's the full lineup?
So tomorrow, on Animated Hour of Power, we are heading towards the last few matches of the of stage 1 of the Animated Anarchy series, and we're gonna have Ben 10 versus David the Gnome, Sakurai versus Ashura, Black Butler versus Neo Angelique, Tailspin versus James Bond Jr., which is a big one, and I'll get into that more tomorrow night, and Action League Now versus Fate Zero in the main event. So, and then we got a big, which I'm not going to promote now. I'll take care of that more in the cartoon show, but we got a big primetime special coming up for the cartoons.
So there you go. We will see everybody next time. Eric, please take care of the shorts.
You got it, guys.
We'll see everybody next time.
Stole my line.
Daniel.
Later.
Later.
Later.